Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Emma, and today Daniel and I are analyzing a World Cup final that brought together two champions, two football philosophies, and two generations of global stars. Spain entered the field as the European champions, while Argentina arrived as the defending world champions, led once again by Lionel Messi. However, when the match ended after extra time, it was Spain celebrating a 1-0 victory, Ferran Torres becoming a national hero, and Argentina wondering how they had reached another final without ever truly imposing themselves on the most important match of the tournament.
And I'm Daniel. This final was not unforgettable because it contained many goals, constant counterattacks, or endless moments of individual brilliance. It was unforgettable because Spain controlled almost every important area of the match. Argentina defended with enormous determination. Emiliano Martinez produced one of the greatest goalkeeping performances seen in a World Cup final, and the decisive goal arrived only when physical exhaustion, tactical changes, and Argentina's numerical disadvantage finally created an opening. To understand why Spain won, we need to look beyond Ferran Torres' finish and examine how Luis de la Fuente's team controlled possession, isolated Lionel Messi, stretched Argentina's defensive structure, and remained patient even when the goal refused to come.
Let us begin with the formations. Spain started in a 4-2-3-1 system, with Unai Simón in goal, Pedro Porro, Pau Cubarsí, Aymeric Laporte, and Marc Cucurella forming the defensive line. Rodri and Fabian Ruiz controlled the center of midfield. Dani Olmo operated between Argentina's midfield and defense, Lamine Yamal attacked from the right, Alex Baena started from the left, and Mikel Oyarzabal played as the central forward. Argentina, under Lionel Scaloni, used a 4-4-2 formation. Emiliano Martinez was protected by Gonzalo Montiel, Christian Romero, Lisandro Martinez, and Nicolas Tagliafico, while Rodrigo de Paul, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis Mac Allister, and Nicolas Gonzalez formed the midfield. Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez started together in attack.
On paper, Argentina's formation appeared balanced, but the way the match developed forced them into a very defensive position. Spain's first objective was to control the ball through Rodri and Fabian Ruiz. Rodri did not simply pass sideways. He constantly changed the direction of Spain's attacks, moved Argentina's midfield from one side to the other, and decided when Spain should accelerate or remain patient. Fabian Ruiz often moved higher, allowing Dani Olmo to find small spaces behind Enzo Fernandez and Alexis Mac Allister. This created a difficult problem for Argentina because if one of their midfielders stepped forward to press Rodri, Olmo could receive behind him. But if they stayed deep, Spain could continue circulating the ball without pressure.
Spain also used their fullbacks differently. Marc Cucurella moved forward on the left side and provided width, which allowed Alex Baena to move inside and combine with Fabian Ruiz and Dani Olmo. On the opposite side, Pedro Porro often remained slightly deeper, giving Lamine Yamal enough space to receive the ball near the touchline and attack Nicolas Tagliafico directly. Argentina wanted to keep their defensive block narrow because they were afraid of Spain playing through the center, but that narrow shape gave Yamal opportunities to receive the ball in 1-against-1 situations.
Lamine Yamal did not score, but his presence influenced Argentina's entire defensive structure. Tagliafico could not move too far away from him. Nicolas Gonzalez had to track back, and Lisandro Martinez or Nicolas Otamendi sometimes had to move across to provide additional protection. Yamal had an early effort that took a deflection, forcing Emiliano Martinez to adjust and make the save. It was not the most dangerous chance of the match, but it showed that Spain were willing to test Argentina from the opening stages.
Argentina's main plan was clear. Remain compact, survive Spain's possession, recover the ball, and then find Messi or Julian Alvarez quickly. The problem was that Spain's defensive positioning was excellent. Pau Cubarsí and Aymeric Laporte stayed alert behind the attack, while Rodri positioned himself where he could stop counterattacks before they developed. Whenever Argentina recovered possession, De Paul, Mac Allister, and Enzo Fernandez rarely had enough time or space to lift their heads and play a controlled forward pass. Julian Alvarez worked extremely hard, but he was often surrounded, and Messi received the ball too far away from Unai Simon's goal.
That was one of the most important tactical victories for Spain. They did not try to mark Messi with only one player. Instead, they controlled the spaces around him. When Messi moved deeper, Rodri or Fabian Ruiz could watch him. When he stayed higher, Cubarsí and Laporte remained close enough to prevent him from turning. Messi could still move intelligently, but Spain made sure that receiving the ball did not automatically lead to a dangerous attack. Argentina's captain became increasingly isolated, and for most of the match, he was forced to watch Spain control possession rather than influence the contest himself.
The statistics explain the difference between the two teams. Spain finished with approximately 65% possession, produced 20 attempts, and placed 12 of them on target. Argentina managed only 2 attempts in the entire match and did not register a shot during the first 90 minutes. That is extraordinary for a team containing Messi, Julian Alvarez, Mac Allister, De Paul, and Enzo Fernandez. Argentina were defending well, but they were not creating a genuine attacking threat.
Still, the score remained 0-0 because Emiliano Martinez was outstanding. Spain created pressure through Oyarzabal, Olmo, Cubarsí, Laporte, Yamal, and later Nico Williams and Ferran Torres, but Martinez kept Argentina alive. He saved shots, dealt with headers, reacted quickly to deflections, and remained confident even when Spain surrounded his penalty area. In many finals, the goalkeeper of the losing team is quickly forgotten, but Martinez deserves enormous credit because without his 11 saves, Spain could have decided the match much earlier.
Argentina also suffered defensive injuries and changes. Lisandro Martinez was replaced before halftime, Gonzalo Montiel later left the field, and Christian Romero was also unable to complete the match. This meant that Scaloni had to reorganize a defensive line that was already under continuous pressure. Nicolas Otamendi and Nahuel Molina entered the game, while Leandro Paredes later dropped into deeper areas to protect the penalty box. Argentina's defenders showed courage, but every substitution reduced their stability and made communication more difficult.
Luis de la Fuente responded by strengthening Spain's attack. Ferran Torres replaced Mikel Oyarzabal, and Nico Williams replaced Alex Baena. These were crucial substitutions because Williams introduced direct running and speed on the left, while Torres offered sharper movement inside the penalty area. Oyarzabal had worked hard and helped Spain connect their attacks, but Torres played more like a striker searching for the final touch. Spain were no longer satisfied with simply controlling the match. They wanted runners attacking the space behind Argentina's tired defenders.
The most damaging moment for Argentina arrived during second-half stoppage time. Enzo Fernandez, who had already received a yellow card, committed another foul on Pau Cubarsí and was sent off. From that moment, Argentina had to play extra time with 10 players. The red card was not the only reason Argentina lost, because Spain had already been the stronger team, but it made Argentina's task significantly more difficult. They could no longer press effectively, support Messi, and protect every defensive space at the same time.
Argentina changed into an even deeper defensive shape and tried to survive until penalties. Spain continued attacking, but they also had to remain calm because playing against 10 defenders can sometimes become frustrating. Nico Williams had a header brilliantly saved by Martinez, Spain had a goal disallowed, and Mikel Merino missed another opportunity. At that point, Argentina may have started believing that the match was moving toward a penalty shootout, where Martinez's confidence and reputation could have given them a psychological advantage.
But in the 106th minute, Spain finally created the movement that changed the final. Pedro Porro received the ball on the right and delivered a deep cross toward the far side of Argentina's penalty area. Nico Williams timed his run, challenged Nahuel Molina, and redirected the ball into the central area. Ferran Torres had already anticipated where the second ball might fall. Instead of waiting behind Argentina's defenders, he moved into the space in front of them and prepared his body before the ball arrived.
That movement was the key. Giuliano Simeone, who had replaced Rodrigo de Paul, did not close the space quickly enough, and Leandro Paredes had been pulled away while trying to protect another area. Torres arrived first, and struck the ball powerfully with his left foot into the roof of the net. Emiliano Martinez had stopped almost everything Spain had produced, but this time the shot was too powerful, too close, and too well placed. Spain were leading 1-0, and Ferran Torres had written his name into World Cup history.
The reaction inside the stadium was incredible. Torres ran away in celebration, his teammates followed him, and Spain's substitutes left the bench because they understood what the goal represented. It was not merely the opening goal of a match. It was potentially the goal that would make Spain world champions for the second time. For Argentina, the same moment created shock. They had defended for more than 100 minutes, but one cross, one aerial touch, and one intelligent run had broken their resistance.
Interestingly, Argentina became more dangerous after conceding because they no longer had anything to protect. Messi finally produced Argentina's first attempt in the 117th minute, while Giuliano Simeone later received a major opportunity following a partially cleared corner. Simeone's effort went over the crossbar, and that was the moment Argentina needed to take. It was their best opportunity to force a penalty shootout, but after spending most of the final defending, they could not suddenly become composed and clinical in attack.
When the referee finally blew the whistle, Spain's players collapsed onto the field in celebration. Rodri had controlled the midfield, Cubarsí had demonstrated remarkable maturity, Laporte and Cucurella had protected Spain's defensive structure, Yamal had stretched Argentina from the right, Nico Williams had influenced the winning move, and Ferran Torres had delivered the decisive finish. This was not a victory created by only one superstar. It was a victory produced by a complete team following a clear tactical identity.
Rodri and Pau Cubarsí represented Spain's control particularly well. Rodri completed more than 100 passes, while Cubarsí completed even more. Cubarsí and Lamine Yamal were both still teenagers, yet they started the biggest match in world football without appearing overwhelmed by the occasion. That combination of experience and youth is one reason Spain looked so complete. Rodri, Laporte, and Fabian Ruiz provided calmness, while Cubarsí, Yamal, Williams, and the other younger players provided energy and fearlessness.
Argentina, meanwhile, must accept that their defensive plan worked only partially. They prevented Spain from scoring during normal time, and Emiliano Martinez gave them an opportunity to reach penalties, but they offered almost nothing in attack. Messi was isolated, Julian Alvarez received little service, De Paul spent too much time defending, and Mac Allister could not influence possession. Scaloni's team showed discipline and courage, but defending without creating an attacking threat meant that one mistake could destroy their entire plan.
Spain deserved to win because they were not only the team with more possession, they were the team with more intention. They controlled the ball, created the chances, made proactive substitutions, and continued attacking even when frustration could have changed their decisions. Luis de la Fuente trusted Ferran Torres and Nico Williams, and both substitutes contributed directly to the winning goal. That is excellent game management because the coach recognized that Spain needed different movement, more speed, and a striker prepared to attack the second ball.
This victory gave Spain their second World Cup title after their famous triumph in 2010. There was also a beautiful similarity between the two victories. Andres Iniesta scored Spain's winning goal in extra time in the 2010 final, and 16 years later, Ferran Torres scored another extra time winner. Once again, Spain needed patience, technical control, and one decisive moment to become champions of the world.
For Ferran Torres, this goal will define his international career. He did not start the match, but great players do not always need 90 minutes to become heroes. Sometimes they need one intelligent run, one clean strike, and one moment when preparation meets opportunity. For Rodri, the victory confirmed his status as the leader of Spain's midfield. For Yamal and Cubarsí, it could represent the beginning of a new era. And for Luis de la Fuente, it completed an extraordinary achievement, leading Spain to European and world success while remaining faithful to an identity based on possession, movement, intelligence, and collective responsibility.
For Lionel Messi and Argentina, the ending was painful. Messi had already experienced the joy of becoming world champion, but this time he walked away as a defeated finalist. His influence was limited, not simply because he played badly, but because Spain controlled the conditions around him. They stopped the passes reaching him, restricted his space, and forced Argentina to play most of the final without the ball. Even the greatest player can struggle when the entire structure of the opposing team is designed to remove his influence.
So, our final analysis is simple. Spain won because they controlled midfield through Rodri and Fabian Ruiz, created width through Cucurella, Yamal, Porro, and Williams, prevented Argentina from counterattacking, and used their substitutions more effectively. Argentina defended bravely, and Emiliano Martinez was exceptional, but they were too passive, too dependent on survival, and unable to connect Messi and Julian Alvarez with the rest of the team. Enzo Fernandez's red card made the situation worse, but Spain had already established tactical control long before Argentina were reduced to 10 players.
Spain versus Argentina will be remembered as a final of control against resistance, patience against desperation, and collective football against individual hope. Argentina waited for Messi to create one final piece of magic, but Spain never allowed that moment to arrive. Instead, Ferran Torres stepped forward, scored in extra time, and gave Spain a victory that their performance fully deserved.
Spain are champions of the world. Their players lift the trophy, their supporters celebrate across the country, and a new generation joins the heroes of 2010 in Spanish football history. Ferran Torres scored the goal, but Rodri, Yamal, Cubarsí, Williams, Olmo, Fabian Ruiz, Cucurella, Porro, Laporte, Unai Simón, and every member of the squad contributed to this triumph.
And that is the final lesson from this unforgettable match. Trophies may be lifted by captains, and goals may be remembered through individual names, but championships are won by complete teams that trust their plan until the final whistle.
Thank you for listening to our analysis of Spain versus Argentina, a World Cup final the world will never forget.
Congratulations to Spain, the champions of the world.
Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep enjoying the beautiful game. Goodbye, everyone.